All right. Well, my name is Chris Duggar. I did my research paper on esports. I wanted to kind of cover some esports and see a little bit more into the world of esports, how it works with Northwest College, um, and those type of things. And so, my question that I posed in my research paper was: should esports be integrated into collegiate athletics? Through my research, I found it really hard to find a definable answer to this. Um, we'll get there in a little bit. However, what are esports is kind of where I start off the paper, talking about that esports are the electronic sports, if you will. They're a newer form of sports. Um, they involve shooting games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, Valorant, sports games that simulate real life sports, so FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K, MLB The Show, fighting games like Tekken, Super Smash Bros, those types of things, and some other games that really don't fit into any of those categories, like Rocket League, which if you think soccer with race cars, Hearthstone, which is a card game, League of Legends, those types of things. Those are just some of the more popular forms of esports. And I kind of talk about a little how esports are growing. I found a lot of good research on how esports have come from out of nowhere and are getting tons of viewers and tons of people interested in engaging with esports, and how it's almost growing bigger, if not as big, as traditional sports that are happening today, like baseball, basketball, football, those types of things. I go into a little bit on what does it take to play esports. There's a lot of a debate about should esports be considered a sport and all that type of stuff. And when it comes down to it, sports take specific things and esports take specific things. You have to have good hand-eye coordination with doing different things with your hands and being able to see different things on your screen. Your reaction time is very important. Especially in like fighting games, you have to know exactly when to hit something, or if you see something coming, you hit a button and it stops that from happening to you, those kinds of things. Strategic thinking, there are a lot of different games that take a lot of strategy. Like Rainbow Six, the whole point is it's a shooter game, but you're trying to place a bomb or stop your opponents from placing a bomb on different points on your map. And so you have a chance to kind of build up your defenses, and so you have to think strategically on how that's going to work. Teamwork is huge. Now, obviously, there are some esports that don't take a lot of teamwork, and that's fine. But teamwork is very big when it comes to the esports, like here at Northwest, where if your team is not working together, if you're not doing things together as a team, it's just not going to happen. And that goes with communication as well. If you're not communicating with your team, it's not going to go well. So you have to have really good communication skills, as well as discipline. Obviously, just like any other games, it takes practice. It takes practice to play soccer. It takes practice to play golf. It takes practice to play Overwatch really well. It takes practice to play Hearthstone really well. So discipline. So all of these things kind of give esports their definition of: do they fit into an esport? Yes. Or do they fit into a sport? Yes, they do. Um, However, I did find in some of my research that actually this year there was a case, a Title IX case of the Florida Institute of Technology, where the Institute of Technology was trying to change their rowing team to be a club sport instead of a varsity sport, meaning that it would not be funded by the athletics program and those types of things. Well, they actually got sued by some members of that rowing team, and the federal judge came down and said that esports cannot be a sport. And you're asking, why esports and why does that have to do with rowing? Well, the Florida Institute of Technology was trying to claim that esports counts towards Title IX's requirement to have equal opportunities for both men and female. By getting rid of the men's rowing team, they figured that esports had their butts covered. And this judge said no. This judge said that that is not true. Esports do not have the same physical needs that regular sports do, and that it cannot replace or supplement that Title IX requirement. And so I go into that in the paper a little bit. So where does esports lie? Where should it lie? Where it lies? There's two ways. There's under athletics or under student services is what I found out through my research when it comes to the collegiate level, right? We're talking the collegiate level here. So usually under athletics, you have more funding, you have better support, you have more regulations. However, you gotta have to follow the same rules that all the rest of the sports do. They're usually a little bit more competitive. They're trying to go get the dub, if you will. And they're sometimes are typically hand-picked students, right? Like I'm going out and I'm finding a kid to come play Overwatch for me because he's good and I know how he plays. Whereas under student services, there's less funding usually and less resources because there's less funding just usually at the institution for those kinds of things. There's less regulations. You don't have to follow the same rules as basketball if you're not an athletic. They can still be competitive. There's lots of teams out there that are still very competitive. The program can grow a little bit more under student services because without all those regulations, you can bring on any student. Bring in all the students you want to come play esports, as there's no eligibility requirements and those types of things. And so then that makes it more open to all students, where you're typically trying to pick those students for athletics. So where does it lie? Does it matter? Yes, I think it does matter. But during my research and in my paper, we came to find out that it really depends on the institution. If your institution wants to be more competitive, then put it as an athletic and go compete, go kick some butt. If you want your program to be a place for students to come and engage and have fun, and that's kind of it, then have it be a student services program. Have it be a club. It really comes down to what the needs are of the institution and where that need is going to fit. And so, yeah, so does it matter? You tell me. I'm just kidding. But yes, it's wherever the esports program can live to get its goals met. You want to be competitive? Be an esport in athletics. Do you want to grow your program and give your students something to do? Student services. And so, yeah, that's really what my paper was about. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get a chance to read it. And I look forward to reading everybody else's. Thank you.